Erin Blanchfield versus Manon Fiorot is the main event of the fight night that takes place this Saturday. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my prediction and breakdown on this fight. I absolutely love this fight. I mean, I think this was a fight to make in the women's flyweight division. The winner of this fight is most likely going to fight the winner of Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso whenever that fight actually ends up taking place. And I absolutely love this fight. And I'm going to preface this prediction and breakdown with me saying that I'm a big Erin Blanchfield fan. I've been a big fan of her since she started fighting in the UFC. And I think she is a future champion. I think she's very good. You know, I'm going to get into the ins and outs of this fight and why I think this is going to be a very, very difficult fight for her. But you guys already know she has amazing grappling. She's a dog. She likes to be in a war. And her fights are actually pretty entertaining. I know that we like to criticize women MMA fights for not being the most technical, the most entertaining fights. But Erin Blanchfield is somebody who, you know, she has a dog in her. You know, she brings the war. She likes to scrap. She's in a dirty fight. And she's not necessarily the most technical striker, but she's not afraid to get hit. She has pretty good durability. So let's talk about this fight itself. I mean, Manon Fiorot also on a pretty good win streak. She's coming off that win over Rose Namajunas. Very impressive. You know, I know Rose was moving up, and in my opinion, she looked a bit undersized in that fight. But still, I mean, to beat somebody of the caliber of Rose Namajunas, somebody that's as skilled as Rose, is still very impressive in its own right. And before that, I mean, she had fought Kaylin Chukagian, but I mean, that was a year back. So I'm not too sure why Manon Fiorot has such a long layoff. I think it was like almost 11 months from that Kaylin Chukagian fight to the Rose Namajunas fight. I'm not sure why, especially when she's a little older in her career. Maybe she was dealing with some injuries. I'm not too sure why. But, you know, Erin Blanchfield has been very active. I mean, she fought, she beat Molly McCann, submitted Molly McCann in the first round when Molly McCann had all the hype in the world. Then she was able to beat Jessica Andrade after Jessica had just beat Lauren Murphy in a very impressive manner. Then she went to Singapore to beat Tyler Santos in a very competitive matchup. So both of these girls are on pretty amazing win streaks. And this is why I really wanted to see that fight, because I feel like the winner of this fight cannot be denied a title shot. I mean, the winner of this fight absolutely deserves a title shot. So let's talk about this fight. I mean, Erin Blanchfield, she's going to look to grapple. She's going to look to control Manon Fiorot against the cage and trying to wear her out and tire her out over 5 rounds and try to get the win there, while Manon Fiorot is going to try to keep this fight standing. She's definitely the more dynamic striker. She's the more powerful striker. I think she's a taller fighter as well. Definitely, like I said, the more technical striker on the feet. I also think she's very strong, and I also think her takedown defense is very underrated. So who do I think is going to win this fight? Well, like I just prefaced, I'm a big Erin Blanchfield fan. However, I know Erin Blanchfield is a big favorite going into this fight, but I really do think that Manon Fiorot is going to present some problems, guys. I went back to rewatch some Manon Fiorot fights, and she's really good. I mean, she fights out of the southpaw stance. She has a really good right hand, really good left straight. She's very elusive on the feet, but she's not afraid to sit on her punches. She's also a dog. She's not like one of those, you know, technical women MMA fighters that are just standing in range. She's kind of scared to get in the pocket. No. Manon Fiorot is not afraid to bite down on her mouthpiece and start swinging bombs, but she's a lot more technical than Erin Blanchfield. And I just also rewatched Erin Blanchfield's fight against Tyler Santos, where she was able to win a decision. And I rewatched that first round, man, and I was like, Tyler Santos was really piecing up Erin Blanchfield in that first round, and Erin Blanchfield was really not having any success with the takedowns whatsoever or with the striking. So, you know, you're having problems with Tyler Santos. And guys, that fight against Tyler Santos, Blanchfield went 0-14 on takedowns. Like, she wasn't really able to take down Santos completely. In that second round, when she was able to control Santos on the ground at the end of that round, it was because Santos decided to attempt a takedown and throw down Blanchfield, and Blanchfield was able to reverse the position and get on top. It wasn't really because Blanchfield had success with the takedown. So she wasn't really able to take down Tyler Santos. She struggled on the feet. And I also think it was a Santos that wasn't, you know, necessarily prepared for the fight. I mean, before that fight, Santos was dealing with a lot of things with their coaches, the team, the UFC. There was all this controversy, all this drama that I'm not going to get into. And I felt like that fight against Erin Blanchfield was actually a very winnable fight. I feel like she made a lot of mistakes in that fight. And, you know, once Erin Blanchfield was able to hold her against the fence and just kind of control her there, she was able to tire her out. But if you think about it, like, Erin Blanchfield wasn't really able to do anything with the takedowns in that fight. She wasn't really able to control Tyler Santos. She was able to control Tyler Santos against the fence. And in my opinion, I don't think she's going to be able to do that against Manon Fiorot. I think Manon Fiorot is going to be able to piece her up at range. I think she's going to be landing the more significant strikes. And yes, Erin Blanchfield is a dog. You know, she's very durable and she's probably going to be walking forward no matter what. But I just think that Erin, I was gonna say Tyler Santos. Manon Fiorot is just gonna be a little bit too technical for her, and I'm gonna go with Manon Fiorot. I think she could win a decision. I think she could win 3 rounds. Now, I think if this fight was 5 rounds, I would definitely be more confident in picking Manon Fiorot. So I'm slightly leaning Manon Fiorot, but I could definitely see Erin Blanchfield winning this fight, especially if she gets the fight to the later rounds. If she's able to just kind of control Manon Fiorot against the cage, which I don't think she's going to be able to, but maybe she is. And if she's able to control Manon Fiorot, and if she's able to get the takedowns, because, like I said, Manon Fiorot has great takedown defense. I mean, she has a 91% takedown defense. The only time she's ever been taken down in the UFC is in her fight against Jennifer Maia, that one time. And even then, when Jennifer Maia took her down, she was able to get quickly back to her feet and reverse the position. You know what I'm saying? She was also able to attempt 2 takedowns and actually got them on Jennifer Maia. So Manon Fiorot is not a fighter who's getting taken down. Like, if I knew that, you know, she was like Jessica Andrade, a fighter that gets taken down a lot in her career, then I would be like, yeah, you know what? I feel like Erin Blanchfield is going to easily win this fight because Manon Fiorot has really good takedown defense, because she's also very strong. She's very tall, you know, has great striking, great Muay Thai, you know, also fights from the southpaw stance, you know, good right hook, left straight and stuff like that. I like Manon Fiorot as an underdog in this fight, guys. Like I said, I'm a big Erin Blanchfield fight, but when I think about this matchup stylistically, I think Fiorot has a really good chance of beating Blanchfield. I think she's gonna look amazing on the feet. She's definitely probably gonna win the first 2 rounds, in my opinion. I think once we get into the third, fourth, and fifth, that's when Erin Blanchfield could potentially shine, especially if she's able to tire out Manon Fiorot. But if Manon Fiorot is able to keep the fight at range, touch her in and out, and really impose that damage, I think she could win this fight over 5 rounds and really hurt Erin Blanchfield. And Erin Blanchfield is very tough. I think both these girls are very tough. I really, man, I think this fight is probably gonna go the distance, but I would not be surprised if Fiorot is able to get a finish. I mean, I don't really see Blanchfield being able to submit Fiorot. I really don't see it, and maybe I'm making a mistake by trusting the French. I mean, I just trusted Benoit Saint Denis, and if I learn anything, is yeah, you can't really trust the French, but you know, I'm giving the French one more opportunity with Manon Fiorot to prove me right, and I think she's really gonna win this fight. Look, like I said, I'm a big Erin Blanchfield fan. She's probably my favorite women MMA fighter. I like the way she fights. I like her grappling style. I like the fact that she's a dog. But when I think about this matchup, and when I went back to rewatch some tape, and I saw the way Manon Fiorot strikes and the way she was able to absolutely destroy Tabitha Ricci on the feet, and she just looked very dominant. She looks very physically imposing. Man, I just think she's gonna give Erin Blanchfield, and like I said, I really don't like Erin Blanchfield's striking style. Yes, it works, especially when she's able to walk forward and really doesn't have to worry about the power. But I think a girl that's a little bit bigger, you know, I think Jessica Andrade is kind of a small flyweight. Somebody like Manon Fiorot, who's a very big flyweight, I think those strikes are gonna have a bit more impact than Jessica Andrade, even though Jessica has a lot of power. So I think Fiorot has a very clear advantage on the feet. I think she's strong enough to defend the takedowns. I think she has to worry more or less about not being stalled out and controlled against the cage, and about her gas tank. That I think that's the main weapon that Erin Blanchfield could use in this fight, is just her cardio, her pace, and just being relentless and durable. But you know, if the punishment that's coming your way is just too much, you're gonna slow down. You're not gonna be able to be effective with your takedowns and your control. So I see that happening here. I see Fiorot just imposing too much damage, having a lot of success with the striking. And even somebody like Rose, right, that's very elusive on the feet. I mean, Rose had a hard time just kind of hitting Manon Fiorot here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fiorot was doing a very good job of touching Rose, moving around the cage, and Rose wasn't really able to get her timing down completely. So, guys, I'm going with the underdog here. I think Manon Fiorot is going to win this fight. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Comment down below if you think Erin Blanchfield is going to win. I think Erin Blanchfield is the clear favorite in going into this fight. I think a lot of people are banking on Erin Blanchfield being able to gas out Manon Fiorot and win in the later rounds. And that's very possible. It's definitely very possible. Just when I went back to rewatch, I just had this feeling that Manon Fiorot was going to be able to defend the takedowns, that she was going to be able to outstrike Erin Blanchfield. And I think she has good enough cardio, in my opinion. I mean, we haven't really seen it over 5 rounds, but I trust that her cardio is going to be good enough to go with Erin Blanchfield over 5 rounds. And I could see her winning a decision. I think I'm going to go with Manon Fiorot by decision. I think she could win a decision. And I think she's going to win on the feet. So anyway, guys, like I said, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.